Well, we're going to show you how to go out there, and if you're looking to catch some coyotes off of your ground, whether you want to get out there and chase coyotes or whether you want to release some of that pressure off of your white-tailed deer and your turkeys and other things, we're going to show you the set that basically is going to work for you anywhere across the country if you're looking to chase coyotes. We're on this field edge right here. The foxes, the coyotes, the occasional bobcat's going to run down through here too, but this set's going to work for you when it comes to any of those bigger predators. It's a Dirthole. It's probably a set that's, or a variation of a Dirthole, is probably caught 95% of the coyotes ever taken ever in the world, let alone North America. But we're just going to clear a place out here for our trap. We'll just use, that's going to be our backing to keep them from working the back of the hole, and then you're just going to dig a bed out, okay? And you want to get your bed dug out where you're going to put your trap and set it in the ground before you cover it, okay? So that's that. Got our sifter here, which will sift our dirt over the trap. Don't worry so much. I know there's a lot of people out there that talk about scent and scent control. I personally don't worry so much about scent because I think a coyote's nose is so good that you could almost be in a hazmat suit and that coyote is gonna know that you were there. So don't even try and fool him. You just want to have something down in that hole that invites him to come in. Once we get that bed dug out, just shave that off a little bit with my trowel, making a nice spot for the bed right there. That's where we're gonna bed our trap, right there. Now I need to dig a dirt hole. When you're digging this dirt hole, you want this dirt hole as deep as you can get it, because you want that animal to have to get their muzzle the whole way down in there. You don't want a dirt hole that's 2 or 3 inches. I'm down in there a good 12, 13. As deep as you can get it, it doesn't matter. They're gonna smell your bait coming out of there. So we got the dirt hole in there good. We're gonna put our trap right here. And what we're using is a Duke 550 with a ground talon stake. This 550 is what I use every time. It doesn't matter if I'm setting for coyote, fox, or bobcat. This 550 is a great predator trap. You'll hear that click right here. That click, now that pan's level. And I know that that trap is ready to fire and be buried, and that's ready to go. So, like I showed you, set this trap. You're gonna hear that night latch click, that's ready to go and be pounded in the ground. We're gonna pound our stake in now. I like to pound the stake usually here on the back left-hand side. Doesn't matter, you can pound it in the middle, you can pound it anywhere, but just make sure that you get it down in there. As far as it'll go, pull that out, and then we set the trap, or set the stake by pulling up. Now we want to bed the trap, and that's going to bed right there. And with this, the biggest part of predator trapping and being a successful predator trapper is this part of the set right here. It's the bedding of the trap. And what I mean by the bedding of the trap is you're making this as solid as you can to where there's no movement or no wiggle. And I like this Duke 550 because I can then pack in around these jaws to where now anywhere you step or move on this trap, there's no wiggle, there's no wobble. And that's the part of being a successful predator trapper that most people that are having some problems out there aren't doing correctly. They're not bedding their trap properly. And that's a properly bedded trap right there. There's really not much else that's needed other than some bait in the hole now and covering the trap with dirt. Now we got really good farm dirt here. It's not gonna get below freezing tonight, so we don't need to worry about using wax sand here, but in freezing conditions, you still need to make sure that you have a working trap, and we will use wax sand as the winter progresses if we're going to have freezing conditions. That is a traditional dirt hole that, like I said, has probably taken 95% of all animals ever when it comes to coyotes and foxes. It's just a set that you can do a lot of different variations of. I like to set a step down set a lot of times, which makes them get their momentum into it, but that's pretty much the set of choice when you're out in the field. We're going to use our Mountain Man bait, which is all we use when we're trapping for predators. It's got a 4-part mixture of Angus beef, rendered prairie dog, fresh prairie dog, and ground poultry, and that's just a really good mix. Spread that out the whole way up and down the hole so that they know that there's something in there that they need and want, and that's that. The only thing else we're going to do here, we could use some gland lure, we could use a lot of different things when it comes to fox urine or coyote urine, things like that. We're just going to use some of our Bobcat Plus, which is Bobcat urine with some gland, so it's a mixture of urine and gland and a bunch of other things that will attract the animal. And that set is pretty much done. The only thing else we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of duff, scrunch that up, and throw that down the hole to give them another little visual when they're down in there that they have to work through to get the bait. But that set right there is all you need to do when it comes to predator trapping. The 550, the pan's going to be about right here, back about 6-7 inches, maybe offset a little bit to the right, 1 or 2 inches. I make a set here in Pennsylvania. I'm setting for fox, coyote, and bobcat. If I was specifically just for coyote, I might be back a little bit more and a little bit more to the right. So maybe 9 inches, 2-3 inches, but there's no set way. If you have something in that hole that animal wants to get, he's going to be up here moving his feet and he's going to find that pan. But that is a traditional dirt hole. And if you want to catch coyotes on your land, that set right there with good equipment and a good bait down in the hole is going to work for you. We've got the 550 Duke buried in there. We've got our Mountain Man bait with our Bobcat Plus in the hole. We know that's going to invite them in there. We have it staked properly, and we have it completely appealing and everything for that animal when they're coming by. So if you do get out there chasing coyotes, this set's going to work for you, and we wish you good luck.
North American Trapper Predation Packages. Get any one of our specific trapping packages that has been ultimately designed to help you become the master predation controller of your farm, ranch, or hunting lease. Control the predators that are costing you time and money, and get out there trapping today with one of our North American Trapper Predation boxes. All of the packages come with the trapping essentials to get you out in the field, plus an instructional DVD that will show you the way. Visit us at NorthAmericanTrapper.com and start breaking dirt today.